Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus chairs high-level meeting on transition from LDC to developing country. Chinese firm to invest $41.33 million in RMG industry at Bebza Mirashorai, creating 10,000 jobs. The Election Commission approves changes to 39 of 300 constituencies based on voter and demographic shifts, says EC Anwarul Islam. 7-member Religious Affairs Committee to be formed to resolve rift between two groups, aim for peaceful ijtima, says religious advisor. NCP Central leaders meet families of July martyrs, join Norshindi programs in July Walkathon for nation building. .8 magnitude earthquake strikes Russia's east coast, tsunami warnings issued for Japan, Alaska and Hawaii. And Brazil crushes Uruguay by 5-1 to reach Women's Copa America final. Assalamu alaikum, this is Simran Rashid welcoming you to News at 10. You've just heard the headlines, now on to the details. A high-level review meeting on preparations for graduation from least developed country status was held at the Chief Advisor's office in the capital today. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus presided over the meeting. The meeting was discussed the progress of 16 decisions. Of these, the National Board of Revenue (NBR) is working on implementing 4 decisions, the Ministry of Industries on 3, the Economic Relations Division on 2, the Ministry of Commerce on 3, and the Chief Advisor's Office on 4. The meeting also discussed providing necessary support and incentives to other export sectors like the ready-made garment industry and providing duty-free facilities for the import of raw materials related to man-made fibers and machineries for this industry. Discussions were held on the progress made regarding effluent treatment plant ETP established at Tanari village in Shabar, fully operationalizing the API park under construction Gazaria, Munchiganj, and the measures taken to update the industrial policy formulated in 2022. The Chief Advisor said that the country's leather industry not properly evaluated. The government has supposed to benefit economically from this industry, but that did not happen. The Chief Advisor has directed to hold a separate meeting on the steps to be taken to resolve the crisis in the leather industry. In addition, he has directed to hold another meeting on the steps to be taken to transition from LDC within the 2 months. The Chief Advisor said that to do these things for our own sake, for the sake of our own economy, we have to change the policies and laws that are not working and find a way forward. These are fundamental issues. We have to do these things for our own advancement. The meeting was attended by Finance Advisor Dr. Salauddin Ahmed, Industries Advisor Adilur Rahman Khan, Environment Advisor Soyeda Rizwana Hassan, Shipping Advisor M. Shakwat Hussain, Health Advisor Noor Jahan Begum, Cabinet Secretary Sheikh Abdul Rashid, Principal Secretary to the Chief Advisor M. Shirajuddin Mia, NBR Chairman Muhammad Abdul Rahman Khan, Bangladesh Bank Governor Ahsan M. Mansoor, and secretaries of various ministries. The has called on the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock to step up efforts in deep-sea fishing and modernize livestock services, saying that the country is missing out on enormous potential. He said this while speaking at a meeting with ministry officials at the State Guest House, Jumna today. The Chief Advisor said fisheries sector can open up a whole new world for our economy if we do it right. He emphasized the importance of conducting proper surveys in the Bay of Bengal to identify valuable and viable deep-sea fishing zones, adding that Bangladesh could bring in expertise from countries like Japan or Thailand if necessary. The Chief Advisor said the Bangladesh Oceanographic Research Institute in Cox's Bazar should be closely involved in research and suggested organizing international conferences to bring in global experts and ideas. Turning to livestock, Professor Yunus said food shortages, disease and high vaccine prices remain serious problems for cattle farmers. We have to find ways to produce animal feed and vaccines locally. That's the only way to bring down costs and become more self-reliant. He noted that Bangladesh has strong potential in the halal meal market, which is growing globally. Malaysia, a global leader in halal meat, wants to invest here. We should definitely explore that, he added. On the issue of leather and cattle hide syndicates, the chief advisor said that early planning is needed ahead of Eid al-Adha next year. Professor Yunus also raised concerns about conditions at the National Zoo. It's heartbreaking. I've heard animals have been mistreated for years and even their food is sometimes stolen. That's just inhumane. The zoo needs a complete overhaul. He also called for modernizing the country's veterinary clinics. Many of them are outdated and some aren't even functioning. We need to turn them into real support centers for farmers and pet owners alike. Fisheries and Livestock Advisor Foida Akhtar, Special Assistant to the Chief Advisor Faiz Ahmed Taib, and secretaries from multiple ministries attended the meeting. Chinese apparel maker Honda Bangladesh Garments Company Limited will invest $41.33 million to set up a factory at the Bebsa Economic Zone in Mirashorai, Chattogram, creating jobs for more than 10,000 Bangladeshis. An agreement was signed today at the Bebsa complex in Dhaka between Bebsa and Honda Bangladesh Garments. Bebsa member and Ashraful Kobir and Chaudhry, chairman of Honda Bangladesh Garments Iteng Zili, signed the agreement on behalf of their respective sides. Bebsa Executive Chairman Major General Abul Kalam Muhammad Ziaur Rahman and Honda Industries Chairman Han Chun spoke on the occasion. With Honda's entry, 43 companies have now committed a total of $98.48 million to the Mirashorai zone, which is emerging as a hub for diversified high-value industry. The charge framing in the murder case of July uprising martyr Abu Said has been scheduled for August 6th. The three-member International Crimes Tribunal 2, led by Chairman Justice Nojul Islam Chaudhry, set the date today. Prosecutor Mizanul Islam briefed journalists after the hearing. Earlier, 6 accused, including former proctor of Begum Rokeya University Rangpur Shariful Islam, former Assistant Sub-Inspector of Police Amir Hussain, Constable Shujan Chandra Roy, and Chhatra League leader Imran Chaudhry were produced before the tribunal. Former Chief Justice ABM Khairul Haq has been placed on a 7-day remand by the Chief Metropolitan Magistrate CMM Court in Dhaka in a case filed with Shahbag Police Station on charge of corruption, delivering biased and unlawful verdicts, and involvement in forgery and fraudulent activities. The court granted the remand order this morning after police produced the former Chief Justice before the CMM Court and sought a 10-day remand for interrogation. After the meeting, the court approved a 7-day remand instead. According to the case statement, Khairul Haq allegedly committed judicial misconduct by delivering the controversial verdict on 10th of May 2011 that nullified the 13th constitutional amendment. The complaint accused the former Chief Justice of fraudulently endorsing the full verdict out of bias and with corrupt intentions. On 24th of July, detectives from the Dhaka Metropolitan Police arrested Khairul Haq from his residence in Dhanmondi. Primarily, he was shown arrested in connection with a separate murder case filed with Jatrabadi Police Station, following with the court ordering him to be sent to jail after a hearing. On July 29, 2024, the fascist government of Sheikh Hasina opened fire on protesters, killing demonstrators during the movement. The very next day, the regime announced a so-called State Mourning Day. On that same day, students rejected this hollow display of grief. In contrast to the fallen regime's crocodile tears, students and along with them Nobel laureate Professor Dr. Muhammad Yunus, a former army chief, writers, journalists and professionals protested by changing their social media profile pictures to red and posting photos with red cloth tied around their faces and eyes. From the night of July 29th, the use of red frames began spreading across social media, reaching widespread visibility by the morning of July 30th. That day, peaceful programs announced by the anti-discrimination student movement where protesters tied red clothes on their faces were repeatedly disrupted by police. At 11:15 p.m., one of the key coordinators of the movement, Abul Qadir, announced a new program titled March for Justice. According to the announcement, on July 31st at 12:30 p.m., people would reach and march for justice across all court premises, university campuses, and streets of the country. The demands included an independent investigation under the United Nations, an end to mass arrests, and implementation of the 9-point demands raised by students and citizens. On that day, a group of concerned citizens held a press conference demanding the government take responsibility and calling for a neutral investigation. Throughout the month of July, flames of movement, protest, and resistance spread across the streets of the country. In remembrance of that spirit, the Shilpakala Academy hosted a special event series titled Red July, the July Awakening. The program paid symbolic tribute to the power of the color red and the blood of the martyrs. The parents of martyr Anas were present at the event, and with their hands the ceremony was inaugurated. Following that, attendees left handprints on a large canvas as a sign of unity and commitment to nation building. Through this single symbolic act, Red July transformed into a powerful embodiment of solidarity. Home Advisor Lieutenant General retired Mohammad Jahangir Alam Chaudhry said that there is no security threat centering August 5th. He said this while replying to a question from journalists at the Home Ministry in the Secretariat today. Asked about the 11-day special drive centering August 5th, the Home Advisor said that no countrywide drive is going on around August 5th. Rather, the Dhaka Metropolitan Police is conducting an operation. Asked about the government measures regarding the attack on Hindu people at Gangrachori at Rangpur district, he said that all involved in the attack. Replying to a question,
সংকটকে মাথায় রেখেই আমরা এখন যে কাজগুলো করছি সেদিকে
Bangladesh has agreement over the issue. Acting Chairman of BNP Tariq Rahman has said July martyrs have no political or economical desire, instead of establishing a democratic, transparent and discrimination-free Bangladesh. He said this while addressing a protest rally organized by BNP in the Sripur area of Ashulia, Shabar. The rally was held in memory of the Ashulia massacre at the cremation site adjacent to Ashulia police station, organized by Dhaka District BNP as part of the Student Worker People's July Uprising 2024. At the function, Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir, Secretary General of BNP, has forged and urged political parties not to create such a situation that gives Hasina a chance to return. Fakhrul also said, "Today there is a lot of talk. Political debates are happening, and that's normal in a democracy, but not to do anything that disrupts democracy again. That is our appeal to political parties." Among others, BNP senior leader Gaishwar Chandra Roy, Amanullah Aman, Advocate Ruhul Kobir Rezvi, Shohid Uddin Chaudhry, and Sultan Salahuddin Tuku were also speaking on the occasion. National Citizens Party, NCP, today held street rally and meeting in Norshingdi demanding trial, reform and new constitution for building the nation as part of the July Road March. Later, the NCP leaders and activists marched different city streets. After marching City Street, the leaders took part in a rally. Convener of NCP Nahid Islam, Chief Coordinator Nasiruddin Patwari, Chief Coordinator for the North Sarjis Alum, and other leaders addressed the rally. Earlier, NCP central leaders met family members of July martyrs at Norshingdi Club this afternoon. Later, NCP's month-long July March program ended at Baipali with a rally. majority of political parties have agreed on 14 issues so far, including increasing women's representation in Parliament to 100. Consensus Commission Vice Chairman Professor Ali Riaz made this statement at a briefing after the 22nd day of the second phase of discussions between political parties and the National Consensus Commission at the Foreign Service Academy in the capital today. He said that the National Consensus Commission aims to hand over a charter to the representatives of the political parties by tomorrow, identifying the issues of acceptable consensus as a result of long-term discussions between the political parties and the National Consensus Commission. Professor Ali Riaz said that the Commission has handed over to the representatives of the political parties a specific list of issues on which there is a clear consensus that are important for state reform. Many issues have already been discussed by political parties and will continue to be discussed by the Commission. In addition, leaders of various political parties including BNP, Jamaat, NCP, AB Party, Biplopi Workers Party and Gano Odhikar Porishad briefed the reporters. Jatiyotawadi Chhatra Dal will now hold its scheduled rally on 3rd of August at Shahbag instead of the previously announced venue at the Central Shohid Minar in response to a request from the National Citizen Party. Chhatra Dal President Rakibul Islam Rakib announced the new venue at a press conference today at the BNP's Noya Polton Central Office. Rakib said that the student rally at Shohid Minar was originally announced back in June. However, the National Citizen Party later announced a separate rally at the same venue on the same day, prompting the decision to shift the location. Meanwhile, National Citizen Party expressed gratitude to both BNP and Chhatra Dal for changing the venue. NCP's North Zone Chief Organizer Sajis Alom acknowledged the gesture in a post from his verified Facebook account. The Election Commission has approved the draft delimitation of the parliamentary constituencies ahead of the upcoming parliament election. Election Commissioner Mohammad Anwar Islam Shorkar today said that the technical committee has proposed to bring changes to 42 constituencies, of which the EC has approved minor changes to the boundaries of 39 constituencies. The changes in 39 are Panchgarh 1 and 2, Rangpur 3, Shirajganj 1 and 2, Satkera 3 and 4, Shariatpur 2 and 3, Dhaka 2, 3, 7, 10, 14 and 19, Gajipur 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6, Naranganj 3, 4 and 5, Sylhet 1 and 3, Brahmanbaria 2 and 3, Kumilla 1, 2, 10 and 11, Noakhali 1, 2, 4 and 5, Chattogram 7 and 8 and Bagherhat 2 and 3 constituencies. Briefing media at the EC Bhavan, he said that the existing boundaries of 250 constituencies have been kept intact as no objections were received in this regard. Claims and objections regarding delimitation of constituency in this regard will be accepted until August 10th, he added. As per the decision of the National Consensus Commission, a 9-member specialized technical committee was formed on July 16th to determine the boundaries. The team thoroughly reviewed 300 constituencies in 64 districts, prioritizing administrative system, geographical integrity and census. Later, a 3-member delegation of National Citizen Party (NCP) held a meeting with the Chief Election Commissioner. At a press briefing after the meeting, they said that they mainly discussed on the issues relating to casting of votes by the expatriates, the system of casting vote, and also came up in the meeting. Religious Affairs Advisor Dr. AFM Khalid Hussain said that a committee comprising representatives from both factions of Tabligh Jamaat is being formed to address ongoing internal dispute. The committee will also be led by an additional secretary and include equal representation from both the factions belonging to Maulana Muhammad Zubair and Maulana Saad Kandhlawi. Considering the issue as government's sincere goal, the Religious Affairs Advisor expected that this committee will be able to pave the way for mutual understanding and prevent further conflict. Earlier in the morning, a joint meeting was held between leaders of both groups and senior government officials at the advisor's office in the Ministry of Religious Affairs to mediate the long-standing rift. Advisor Lieutenant General retired Muhammad Jahangir Alam Chaudhry and Special Assistant to the Chief Advisor on Ministry of Home Affairs Khoda Bukshish Chaudhry were present at the meeting. Now international news.